I know why. And this is what upsets me. The many years, I guess, of always holding back because I felt that by being a Negro, I couldn't always come out and do things because I didn't know how you would react to this. But I kept feeling now, will this really embarrass him? Or will this really put him on a spot in front of other people who are watching him? And I just think that I just kept feeling here, this darn society where I have to always think Negro first before I can... And it's just such a shame. I think that I've only felt once in my life that I was a person first, and I had to go. I had to leave this country to do this. And this was in Europe when I went one summer over there. And for some reason, I was accepted first as Carlene, and then I was whatever else I was, a Negro or an American or whatever else. But I've never in this country been able to just feel like I could do something like this.
You wanted so
and then I resented Ross for doing this. And I hated myself for not being able to just overlook everything and all of these things.
You wanted so much to just give to him, and then you felt...
Oh, I felt very close to him all the time, and I don't know why. I just have from the beginning, and it hasn't changed. And when he was building up, I just, well...
I felt very close to you, Carlene.
But I just couldn't do it. And I wouldn't have done it. And I guess that's what really bothers me, that I know I wouldn't have done it.
You would have wanted
and I'm
to.
right next to him, sitting right next to him. And then I wanted to apologize to you when you came back in. And I didn't because I kind of hated things were going and I hated to just turn to you. And then as I sat here longer, then I couldn't come up and say, tell you that I was sorry.
No, you're right. I think when you said that you can be in a group, not say anything and be there. I don't know about the group. I still disagree with that, but I don't know. I communicate with you and I don't say much and you don't say much, but I communicate with you. You with me.
Mm-hmm. So maybe I'll learn.
So to you, when you come forth, you're really lovely girl.
Thank you.
Carl, I don't mean to make your position right now more difficult for you. The way I love you is not as Carl Rogers and all your prestige, because I don't know that much about it. You have responded so warmly to me, and you have given me love. I sort of put you up here because of that. I think when I walk away from here, I know that you will be a part of me, and I'll always remember you and the experience.
That was something very warm and very human on the part of both of us. I felt needed, and I felt useful and real, a lot more expressive. I was brought up in the kind of background a lot of you have been, but you don't touch anybody and so forth. And I just hugged you and held you.
And you loved her.
You bet I did.
And I loved you. And I love you, not just E.D.
So do I. Love you. A few years ago, I couldn't have said that in a group, or certainly not to a good-looking young gal. I just could not have. Like you, Jerry, I find it a little embarrassing to weep when everybody's eyes are focused on me.
I find weeping is good and a cleansing thing. I think of by somebody's action in this group, that was Roz, how this has a welling up of making you feel part of the group, even though it's done by an individual of the group. It seemed to make me feel a part of everybody here, which I'll be ever indebted to you, Rod. And I had no embarrassment in coming back into the room.
I noticed that.
It is possible to not have other people, but there are other people that can reach out if you in turn will reach out to them. I mean, it is possible for this to happen, and that it is a feeling of becoming closer to people, especially to individuals. It seems like what I'm saying is more from a textbook, but I don't know why I struggle with it so much. The response from Roz immediately seemed to take me back into the group, or into the human race, I guess you'd say, or not, that isn't a good term, but back into other people's feelings. And they're concerned. They are concerned. They can be. People can be concerned about you regardless of what type of an individual you are. So this realization has come to me. It's things that you have read about, but you can't, I couldn't possibly say that this would ever happen to me, no matter if we sat here for a month. I can never picture some person being concerned over me.
There's one thing that I thought about this morning that I guess I'll voice now, because it certainly fits in with what you're saying. I know after your experience this morning, the word that kept cropping into my mind was, that's irreversible. And what I meant by that was that I felt you had learned something you couldn't possibly unlearn. You may not be able, you may have difficulty making it happen again, or all kinds of things, but by gosh, I think you learned something that
I know it can happen.
Irreversible. Yep, you know it can happen.
Yes.
Decision that each person can make for himself, as somebody might feel like.
That's a good catchphrase.
Come on, honey.